Welcome back to my channel. This is Living to Learn. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day, your busy life to listen to what I have to say, to watch my video. And I just want to say thank you. I also want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Go ahead and share the videos with anyone you think will benefit from them. This is why I do what I do here on YouTube. And so thank you for those of you who have been supporting me for a long time, been watching my videos consistently and supporting and encouraging me in my channel and what I'm doing. Before I get started, I do want to mention two things in the description of the video. Excuse me. You are going to find my TikTok and Instagram handle. That's at Live to Learn Coaching. You can follow me there for more content. You can also reach out to me directly. If you have any questions, if you want me to cover a certain topic, if you want to provide some constructive criticism, if you want to give me a pat on the back, I'm open for all of it. But that's where you can reach me at Live to Learn Coaching, TikTok and Instagram. Also in the description of the video, 3 opportunities, 3 ways to donate financially to this channel. Now that's another kind of support that I don't expect from everyone. However, those of you who have already done so, you've taken that support to the financial level, which again really means a lot because we all work hard for our money. I want to say thank you. I do really appreciate it. And if you think that that's something you might want to contribute to help me continue to make this content, to continue to be consistent, well, hey, there's 3 opportunities there for you to do so. And you don't have to do it. Just you watching, just you taking the time to listen to what I have to say really means a lot. So let's get started. Last week, we started a new series about opening up about men's mental health stigmas, men's emotional health. I mean, really the big one is men don't cry, boys don't cry. A lot of these things that have just been they're dysfunctional. They're incorrect. They come from an incorrect worldview. They come from a dysfunctional perspective on how men should carry themselves and how a man should act or should respond. At the end of the day, and you'll know more than we know more than anyone, right, that there's a lot of gender discussions these days, right? But regardless of gender, we are all human beings. And I don't know, I was thinking about this the other day. You remember that there's a commercial, and it came out not that long ago. And it was really cool because they had these people up on a platform and they were behind like a giant X-ray. So all you saw behind the X-ray were 2 skeleton figures, right? If you've ever had an X-ray, that's what you see. You see your skeleton, you see your bones. You see what you're made of, right? We consist of bones and ligaments and tissue. Like, we really are a work of art. But that's all you saw. And I remember that commercial. That's all you saw. And then the people would come from behind the X-ray and show you who they really were. And it would be a mix of different people. But the fact that they started with what we all have in common, right? You just saw the 2 skeletons back there. You didn't know who was who. You couldn't tell them apart. And that's where I'd like to go with this topic is let's get back to the foundational level of this. We are human beings. We are here. We exist. We didn't ask to be here, but here we are. We all grow up. We all develop differently. Of course, everything's different for each of us depending on how we grew up and how we were raised and where we grew up at, what time. But it's the same pattern. So where did we get this idea? Where did we get this idea that men don't have the right to express their emotions like anyone else? When did it become soft? When did it become not manly or not, how men should be to express emotion? Where did that come from? Because at the end of the day, being able to express our emotions in a healthy way helps us. It's good for us. And as human beings, we should try to do as much as we can of the things that are good for us. Now, I'm not trying to be cynical. What I'm really just trying to get us to understand how simple this is. And what makes it not simple is all of the extra that's been poured on top of this subject. All of the things throughout time, throughout, our culture, all of the things that have just piled up onto this. And in reality, it's just like, those things are made up. Those things are something that someone thought and just said, this is how it's going to be. And it just took off. And again, like I talked about last week, this has ruined generations of men. The inability to express our emotions in a healthy way. And I want to talk about some of the benefits, literal benefits of being able to open up, of being emotionally healthy as men. Now, I want to pause really quick because, again, I know that, especially if you're a man, you're listening to this out there. I know that for a lot of us, this is an uncomfortable thing to discuss. I mean, some of us have had some of the most dysfunctional ideas embedded into our minds. And it's going to take a lot longer than a 10-minute YouTube video to undo those things. But I want to encourage you, if you're someone that's watching this, if you're a man, you're watching this and you're just like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to hear about this. Let me challenge you to brave this one out. Let me challenge you to just watch the video. Just consider that maybe there's some truth to this. That's all. Again, I talked about this last week. The men in my family gave me a gift. They showed me. They unlearned whatever came from the generation before them, but they showed me that it is perfectly fine for a man to open up, to express his emotions in a healthy way, to feel and to know all of the emotions that we experience as humans. And just because I'm a man doesn't mean that I don't have the right to do that. So let's talk about some of the mental health benefits, okay? And again, I hope you'll stay with me. Reduce stress and anxiety. I don't know about you, but that sounds good to me. I don't like feeling stressed. I don't like feeling anxious. So if I can do something that's going to reduce those things, I think it's a good idea to try to incorporate that into my life. And opening up, expressing our emotions as men in a healthy form, in a healthy fashion, reduces stress and anxiety. And I know there's a lot of men out there who are carrying a load that they don't have to be carrying. But again, it's the stigma. That's why I titled it this way. The day the stigma died. When will it end? So number one, emotional expression. Men being able to men being able to express our emotions in a healthy manner reduces stress and anxiety. Listen, when us men share our emotions, it helps to alleviate this internal pressure. Again, these are common sense things. If you put it into another context, it's a common sense type of thing. You go to the doctor and you're complaining of pains or whatnot. They're gonna look for ways to alleviate that. And this is something that has been stripped from some of us. It's been taken from some of us. We've been handcuffed by these stigmas that tell us, hey, that's a no-no for you because you're a man. When in reality, that cure that we're looking for is well within our reach. When we share our emotions, when men open up, it helps to alleviate that internal pressure. It lowers our stress. I don't know about you. I live in a high-paced, fast-paced society. I work my 40 hours a week and some, right? I don't know if you knew this. I don't just get to do YouTube all day. One day, right? That's a dream, but I gotta go to work as well. And I love my job and I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to earn for my family. But, you know, if you know where I'm coming from, the stress, the demand, the pressure, these are things that we should be able to alleviate ourselves of when we can. And that's exactly what happens when men open up and share their emotions. We decrease that stress. We decrease those anxious feelings. This openness, right? Being open, opening up. It can promote a sense of relief and emotional clarity. Think of relief. Relief from what? Relief from whatever. Whatever you need to be relieved of. That openness, that finally saying, you know what? I'm just going to be truthful. I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to write it down in a journal. I'm going to find someone that I can confide in, and I'm just going to open up. I'm just going to be truthful. I'm mindful of my emotional health. That is going to promote a sense of relief and emotional clarity. Do you know how many men there are out there who lack emotional clarity? Do you know how many of us are out there who tense up? We have these feelings and we don't know what they are. And I want to close with this, and I've shared this in another video, but I think it's a perfect way to close this out, especially when we're talking about emotional clarity, especially when we're talking about the mental health benefits of men opening up, of men expressing their emotions in a healthy way. I went to a seminar one day. I was invited, and the man that was speaking, it was a great day. We learned about breath work. We practiced breath work. Breath work is amazing, by the way. I'm going to start doing a little bit more. I want to do a series on that as well one day. I think it's an awesome thing. I experienced the benefits of it right then and there. It was pretty mind blowing. But we went in and we listened, and you know, one of the guys that was there, he was one of the hosts. He's sharing some things with us, how he, you know, his transition and how he got here and why, you know, his whole mindset behind this, you know, giving business soul, right? Doing business as not only a way to make money, but as a way to serve. Really neat concept, really cool. But one thing that he said that got me, and I remember this, he said one of the things that he practices is whenever something comes up, whenever a negative emotion, whenever a feeling of anxiety, stress, whatever it might be, fear, something just overcomes him out of nowhere. Because again, most of us, I don't want to say most of us, a lot of us are so unaware, we're so unclear on our emotions, we're so out of touch, again, because we're men and we were told men don't do that. We fail to identify what's even happening. One of the things that he says he does, and I would encourage you to do this, and I've been encouraging myself to do it. It's not easy, but it definitely makes sense and it's definitely doable. He says whenever something like that happens, whenever he gets that feeling, whenever something just creeps up on him, he goes, I try to grab hold of it. Like a snake coming out of a hole, right? He's like, I try to grab hold of it. And then I try to follow where it came from. So imagine this thing just comes out of this hole. You grab it and you go right back into that hole, because I want to know where this came from. I want to know what this is. And before I close with this video, I want to remind us as men, although we are men, and we should be proud of that fact, because that's just how we're made. That's just who we are. We deserve to have that emotional relief. We deserve to have that pressure alleviated. We deserve to have emotional clarity. And we deserve to be able to express our emotions in a healthy way. So I hope this has helped. I thank you once again for watching. Have a great day.